Good morning, friends. Ash here, WAT News, with some news and election updates. It's January the 9th, 2021. I had actually done another video, but I decided to redo it because I wanted to include some other things that I didn't cover, and I wanted to back up off the Italy story for a second and let that germinate because I think there's a lot more is going to come out about that. We covered some of it, but now I wanted to get back to some other things that happen around the Capitol building issue and also with Trump, right? We're seeing that the mechanisms of power, right, are flexing the last muscle that they have left, right? It's like the spasm of the death throes of the system that was in place, right? The system that was seeking to control us, that did control us for many, many years, right? Facebook, social media, right? Steering the discussion where they want it to go. Twitter removes Trump's. Twitter takes down Trump's account, claiming it may cause violence, right? X22's down. Twitter. Sidney Powell's Twitter's down. Ellen Wynn Twitter's is down. So you're seeing the mechanism, right? Take its last death throw and try to keep Trump silent for the last 11 days that he has left in this term because they're scared that he's going to start, releasing some information, right? Is he going to declass stuff? Is anything going to come out? Or is more info going to break about Italy? That the general was involved, that a CIA agent may have been involved with MI6. Now that brings in a whole other country. Also, YouTube took Steve Bannon's War Room podcast down, one of the top podcasts. So the War Room's down. It looks like two. I guess you'll have to find their website and go watch their stuff there. I wanted to get into this specific gentleman. His name is John Sullivan. Far-left activist John Sullivan from Utah, who was arrested for storming the U.S. Capitol, is released without charges. Organized Antifa event in area at same time as Stop the Steal rally. So Millie Weaver did some great reporting on this. And this is unfortunately the young lady that was shot inside the Capitol. And this guy was apparently very close to that area or right near her when that happened. I'm not saying, of course, he had anything to do with it, but why is he so close to that incident? Last night, CNN interviewed John Sullivan from Utah after the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt by Capitol Hill police. John Sullivan, a noted leftist leader from Utah, stormed the Capitol with fellow activists on Wednesday. John Sullivan is a Black Lives Matter goon from Utah who was flown into D.C. during the planned Stop the Steal rally. In August, John Sullivan threatened to rip President Trump from the White House during violence in D.C. Sullivan was flown to D.C. for the protests, from our earlier report. We about to go get that MFer. It's time for revolution video. BLM threatens to rip President Trump from the White House. So this guy looks like he's BLM. I mean, he's done speeches, right? He's been arrested in Utah at rallies organizing. Yesterday, Sullivan stormed the U.S. Capitol. He was near Ashley Babbitt when she was killed. Meet BLM criminal John Sullivan was arrested for threats and violence against conservatives in Utah. He was interviewed on CNN about the film he took inside the Capitol. So was this guy's film the one that came out, or was that was he put in there for a reason? Why was this guy allowed to get in? And I'm going to get to some other stuff that we can see. Listen to John threaten Trump. See if we can get some more background on this guy. He's out of Utah. This is him in Utah.
What's going on, everybody? My name's John Sullivan. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. My group is Insurgents USA. We fucking about to burn this shit down. Fuck this shit.
Insurgents USA.
Seeing that white militia guy shoot three kids. Yeah. Fuck that guy. And I will tell you this shit is in Utah. A whole bunch of white militia came out there, formed against our group. We out there strapped. We out there ready to burn that shit down. We out there to defend our fucking selves. We gotta defend ourselves now too.
Okay, so he's at some rally in Utah. He's trying to, it looks like to me, put one group against the next group, right? So I'll just leave that there. Now, Millie Weaver did some great work on her Twitter. This is from Millie Weaver's Twitter. And let me just get the original post here so we can... Millie Weaver had posted, notice he organized BLM Antifa to storm the Capitol on the 6th, later then catch and released. So why, if this person, it looks like he was detained, and I'm going to show you some more video in a second. I also found a video earlier where it looked like he was being detained in D.C. by police, and but he apparently was released later. So the question's going to be, why was, if the FBI is calling for, you know, all these people to be arrested who stormed the Capitol, why, and if you had him on video being inside, then why wasn't he charged? Why was he caught and released? Was he charged with anything? So this is the banner. You could see that somebody had up on his, looks like his Twitter page, John Sullivan, activist, founder of Insurgents USA, a group for racial justice and police reform, kicked these fascists out of D.C. January 6, 2021. Dump Trump for good. Location, Washington Monument, 11 a.m. So somebody organized something for these some certain groups to be there, it looks like, right? Was he the organizer of this particular event? We'll have to go dig more into the Insurgents USA. So here it looks like Millie ran into John Sullivan in the street, right, outside of his, apparently his hotel in D.C. So let's play this video, because I'm pretty sure this is Millie's video. It sounds like her voice, but it's not from... I just found this online when I was trying to... John Sullivan, the suspected BLM activist amongst the protesters that stormed the Capitol, is released. So let's play this. Notice he has his keffiyeh on. Just, I wanted you to notice it. The gear he's wearing... also, I wanted you to he's sort of all blacked out with the sort of similar gear that I've seen a lot of other people wearing. Not that that matters so much, maybe, but just to note it. And let's play the video.
So, were you... Yeah.
Actually, so
Were you at the Capitol?
I'm on the phone. So.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. People were talking.
So he's on the phone with somebody. He's walking away. She's asking him, were you at the Capitol today? This is later that evening, I'm assuming. And they're outside the hotel. So he's walking away down the street trying to talk to somebody. This dude's smoking a cig, relaxing, having his phone call. I gotta give Millie credit. She's persistent. She's not gonna just be, stop at that. She'll follow him a little bit, see what he's doing, and then he'll come back and she'll ask him some more questions. Got a lot more attention in the last couple of days.
Are you BLM? Are you Black Lives Matter? John, can you just answer, are you Black Lives Matter with Black Lives Matter, or are you with the right-wing people?
On the phone, do you not?
Yeah, but are you Black Lives Matter? So he just said on the phone that he is not being charged with anything. Did you say you weren't being charged with anything? I thought I heard you say that. Are you Black Lives Matter, John? Are you Black Lives Matter?
No, this is...
So, he's being all quiet, right? But now there's people watching him and they saw his face. He was at the Capitol. Why isn't he being charged with something, right? Is he out on bail? We don't know that yet. But this guy was also arrested in Utah. Man with history of organizing violent Antifa BLM protests was inside the Capitol. Katie Pavlich, Town Hall. There he is again, John. We're beginning to learn more about the individuals who were inside the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday. A young man named John Sullivan was there. He's from Utah and the founder of Insurgents USA, which is a group dedicated to racial justice and police reform. According to numerous news reports, he has a history of organizing leftist protests and identifies with Black Lives Matter. Over the summer, Sullivan was arrested after organizing a violent riot in Utah that ended with a shooting. One of the host groups was Salt Lake City Anti-Fascist Antifa Coalition. From Deseret News, one of the organizers of a protest in Provo that resulted in a motorist being shot was arrested on Thursday. John Earle Sullivan, 25, of Sandy, was booked into the Utah County Jail for investigation of rioting, making a threat of violence and criminal mischief, and honked their horns for law enforcement. Another group planned a counter-protest at the same time and place on Facebook. Its event page was originally titled End Police Brutality, but was later changed to Marching for Racial Equality. The Facebook pages listed the event's hosts as the group Insurgents, Solidarity for Justice, Salt Lake Equal Rights Movement, and the Salt Lake Anti-Fascist Coalition. As a protest organizer, John Sullivan is heard and seen as he is promoting protesters to block roadways, keeping motorists from traveling lawfully and freely. Sullivan was also captured on video threatening to beat a woman in an SUV, according to the affidavit, and then kicking her door, leaving a dent. Sullivan was seen with Jesse Taggart, the man charged with shooting the motorist, throughout the protest, the affidavit states. As a protest organizer, Sullivan is heard talking about seeing the shooting, looking at the gun, and seeing smoke coming from it. John did not condemn the attempted murder nor attempt to stop it, nor aid in its investigation. John did not condemn the attempted murder or attempt to stop it, right? At the Capitol, Sullivan was standing next to Trump supporter Ashley Babbitt when she was shot and killed by a police officer. In fact, he filmed it. So this guy's now around two different incidents where someone got shot, right? And as you say, right, coincidences, I don't believe in them anymore, right? So you can take that for whatever you want. Is it coincidence? Is it not? Why is this guy always around in the center of something? And why is he in D.C.? Why was he let out? And I got to try to find that. There was a video where, hang on a second. I saw the video, where he's sitting outside. Somebody, did they scrub that one too already? Because I saw anti-Trump founder, here it is. I want to make sure it was him.
Burn this shit down. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, this is the video. That's him. It looks like he did get arrested. This is the shooting, guys. So I kind of don't want to play this, but if we can prove that he was there, I don't know, guys. Yeah. Let me try to find the other one because it wasn't. I don't want to do this one so much. You can look at it and see if you see him in there, all right? But I wanted to find. There was one where he's just sitting there, like this is it. He's detained. This is it. So this is the video that's allegedly him being detained, and it looks like they're near the hotel. So not sure what happened here. Did they take him in? He looks the same to me. He's in the same outfit with the slippers, the dark. He wants to know why he's being detained, he says. That's him. That's him. And it looks the same. I'm not sure if this is the hotel right around the corner maybe or something, or right near it. It looks like him there.
I was like, this is a crime scene. No. Hold on. You got misconception. You got it all on film right there, I swear.
He is cuffed. That doesn't necessarily mean he's under arrest yet. They could just be detaining. They detained him, or I don't know if they took him. That's the problem. Or did they just detain him and let him go? Because she is talking to him later. I don't know if this was earlier in the evening maybe, or, we're not sure. There's a whole lot of people around him, so it's something's going on. So he did get arrested, or at least detained at some point in that evening. He was there because we could see that Millie was talking to him. So here's a guy that is part of some group that seems to be violent, right? And on top of that, it appears that he was right near the shooting incident that took place in the Capitol building. So, and he has a history of organizing, it appears. He's been arrested in Utah. We have that. And so what was he doing then? Why was he on the front line of this thing, right? Why was he allowed to get into the Capitol? Did somebody fly this guy in? Is somebody funding this guy? Who is behind this guy? Is he acting alone, or is he just some kind of an operative for another group, right? We have to figure that out. But it does appear now that there was some kind of BLM Antifa type people connected at this group, and this guy could be another one of those people, right? So we have more than one group, it looks like, that was inside the Capitol, right? We have maybe these people who look like they might be affiliated with like a skinhead group, the guy with this hammer and sickle on his hands. And then you have somebody like this that's on the other end of the equation, maybe, right? That so are both sides of this. You know, it's just how many different of these groups that are just sprung up in the last few years are actually, you know, because that's what I was saying. I don't think many of these groups are really organic, obviously, right? They're being funded with huge amounts of money by somebody, and they're being given more money. And the question is, are these people now, you know, is Trump going to just label all these people like Antifa and BLM terrorist groups and just round them up? And I'm thinking, yeah, that he should have done that with Antifa a long time ago. I think he had to allow it to get this bad to metastasize for people to really see the problem of it. And that's just my take on that. Breaking report, out of 100% fed up. First extremist in Capitol building siege is identified as BLM Antifa activist. We got to effing rip Trump right out of the office, right? The same guy. So here he is. So did they just create this dude, fund him, and then have him start to set up like get violent groups together and use them for whatever purpose? It's starting to look like that, right? I mean, he's got all of his stuff here is like, he's got BLM, Power to the People, Black Lives Matter, End Police Brutality, March on Washington. So yeah, looks like he was there. And it looks like somebody's funding him. Somebody's flying him around or in there, or he's doing it on his own. John Earle Sullivan. Wasn't there another famous John Earle Ray or something? Why did that name stick out to me, that his name's John Earle? John Earle Ray, was it? Why did that come into my head? Sorry, let me just... John Earle Ray. Proudly served his country. Oil field supervisor. I don't know why that... John Earle something. Alright, we'll figure it out. I think a lot of the people's names I started noticing in this stuff is interesting to me, that come up into this story, right? So, what's this guy's story, right? What's the deal with him? Was he an agent of somebody that was sent in there to do a certain task and why was he so close to the shooting incident that took place? I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on this guy, but why does he keep getting arrested over and over and he keeps getting out, right? Especially in a place like Utah where they would seem to be pretty heavy on stuff like that, but they don't seem to be, right? So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But the bigger news is that they're coming down with the, right? They're looking like on Monday they want to bring in the impeachment. They're going to try to do an impeachment in, I don't know what, 10 days? Because they don't want Trump to maybe run ever again, right? Let's say that, whatever, they think that, who knows what they're thinking, right? They must be real nervous. They want to get the narrative changed, and they want him to be out before the 20th so that he cannot declassify anything. That's my guess. And we'll have to see what comes out next week, guys. It's going to be a crazy week, I'm guessing, and it's going to start getting a little bit crazier from here on in. So stay frosty. Keep your workouts going. Stretch out. Keep your mind right. and just be ready. Let's see what happens. We'll follow the information where it leads us, right? With that, friends, I hope you're well. Peace and love. This is Ash, WA.